Welcome to Content Inspire. I'm your host, Andrew Calvino. And today I have the legend and badass, Lizel Fehr. She is a fitness influencer and author, and I'm just grateful that you're giving me and the Content Inspire community your time and sharing your story. So introduce yourself to the listeners.
Hi. Yeah, like you said, I'm Lizel Fehr, and it was crazy how we met, completely spontaneous. My hometown is actually Illinois, and I randomly came to Indiana to work out with some other influencers that worked at Bassett Fitness, and that's how we met. So it's crazy how connections work, and I'm just also really excited and honored to be here as well, and just to talk about fitness and everything. But my hometown is Illinois, and I grew up in a really small town. I had a great upbringing in a small community, had great family upbringing, but I was extremely ambitious, and I knew I wanted to live in the city and go to school in the city. So right now I am a second year at Northeastern University in Boston, Massachusetts, and I am studying here at school right now, going through all of my fitness goals at school.
Sweet. Thank you for sharing that with me and the listeners. So the first question your way is, what is your why?
That is a really good question. And I can answer that in so many different ways, just because there's not just one answer when it comes to my why. It's an accumulation of answers and everything that I've gone through. But really, when it comes to fitness and why I am so adamant about my fitness journey and everything that I do with it, is really because of what it's gotten me through. And fitness has gotten me through some of the worst injuries, some of the worst things that have happened in my life. And really, at the end of the day, fitness was something that I could always come to. You know, when you go to the gym, you can really just let everything fall from your head. You can just keep going and really just go to the gym and let that stress just like fall away, and you can just focus on one thing. You can focus on your workout, you can focus on what you're doing in that moment, and that completely changed my life. And when I was in college, it was hard because I also had my first year during the pandemic. And so I was in the city during COVID when everything was pretty bad. Everything was closed, it was hard to meet people, and my saving grace was really going to the gym every single day, because even though it was really hard for me to meet people, and I did have a hard time when I first started out, I could always go to the gym and it completely made me feel better. And the gym was something that helped me keep going also when I suffered several injuries. 2 years ago, I was in a car accident where I had injuries to my spine, my neck, and my wrist. And I also had a severe concussion as well. And really the first thing that I said when I woke up in the hospital and not knowing that I had just been in a car accident was, when can I get back to the gym, and what can I do to get back as fast as possible? And that was a crazy experience that I had to go through slowly and that I had to be patient with. But in the back of my head, that why was always about fitness, to be able to get to that point where I can live my healthiest lifestyle. And that has literally changed my life. And it's really my end goal when I go through trials and tribulations in my life. It is, especially with physical ability and all the injuries that I've been through.
Okay. Well, yeah, we were talking a little bit off air in regards to the car accident and injuries and whatnot. So how did you get into fitness? Because you're saying that fitness is such an important part of your daily routine, your life, your everything. How did you find the gym?
Yeah, so I was actually a pretty consistent athlete throughout high school. I was always an athletic person. I did track and cross country. And I actually started out as a runner, and I just did strictly cardio. And my senior year of high school, I kind of wanted to do something different. You know, I loved sports and I loved being athletic, but I kind of wanted to go in a different route where I was in control of my fitness and I was in control of all of my goals and my achievements. And I kind of wanted to challenge myself to do something different. And so I ended up quitting track and I got into weightlifting my senior year of high school. And I started out completely on my own. And this is kind of what I talk about on my Instagram and on my TikTok. I really cater to females that are new at lifting or that want to start lifting and have no idea how to start. Those are the people that I cater to on all of my platforms because I was there. I completely was in that same position as all of you guys that are just starting to lift and are not as confident in the gym. It can be extremely intimidating. And I went through that from beginning to end where I had no idea what I was doing at one point, and now I'm confident enough that, I'm in my own space and in my own world when I go to the gym. And so I'm just really passionate about fitness because of that, because I did have to start alone. I did have to go through that alone, and being able to start alone and build that independency, but also meet new people through the gym and improve with other people that have helped me throughout my journey is how I started and really why I got into fitness and what makes me so passionate about it.
Okay. And then you did say that your platform caters to women, younger women that are going into the gym that have no idea what they're doing, that are day one. So do you ever plan on maybe doing online coaching or in-person personal training?
Yeah, it's really cool that you asked that because that has really been on my mind lately. I know I mentioned my car accident beforehand, and that was about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago today. And right now I'm going through another injury. I actually broke my femur and I am on crutches for another 10 to 12 weeks. And that has been extremely hard because I was doing so great. I was building my platform and meeting so many different people. I was getting messages every day and I loved talking one-on-one with new people and being able to help them individually. But that has been really hard because now I'm on crutches and I can't even do anything with legs for the next 3 months. But I talk about that because that has been on my mind actually is online coaching. Because I have been helping people throughout the last month and a half, 2 months, just on my own through messaging on Instagram. And people have really been responding to it. And now I'm really in a place where what can I do to help people, even if I can't exactly show them what to do? And throughout all my platforms, I was making videos and making tutorials and everything. And I can't exactly do that with at least the lower body for another 3 months. So I have been thinking about what can I do to still continue to help people? And online coaching has been on my mind for the last 2 weeks since I broke my leg. Just because I'm constantly thinking about fitness and how to help other people. And so that possibly is in the future. And that has been something that I'm thinking about even more today, even more so because of my injury, because I just am so adamant about continuing to help people and to help everyone that is following me on all of my platforms. So we will see. We might be able to see that on my Instagram coming up.
Okay, sweet. And so another quick question your way is, if you could get signed by any apparel brand in the world, who would you sign with?
Oh my gosh, that is a good question. I tend to go towards 2 companies. You'll see on my Instagram, on my TikTok, I wear a lot of navigation clothing, and they've been growing over the last couple years actually, and I just love the positivity that they bring to the fitness space. So I wear a lot of navigation clothing myself, so if I could ever be sponsored by them, I would be ecstatic. And I also grew up wearing a lot of Nike, especially with athletics, and just in general I do prefer Nike a lot, and I just like their values that they bring to the fitness space and the quality of their apparel as well. So those would be my 2 top picks.
Okay. All right, guys, you heard it. First top picks, navigation and Nike. So when you get signed by either brands within your fitness career, celebrate hard.
I can come back to this video and this conversation and say, I said it to Andrew and I just manifested it.
Yep, exactly. So I see that you're a free agent regarding like supplements, right? So is there any brand that you use on a consistent basis that you would love to be with?
Yeah, with supplement wise, I'm still kind of figuring out what I prefer and what I like. I know I've said on my channels I want to do like kind of like tryouts of several supplements because like I said, most of my audience are new people and they're asking me those same questions. You know, what supplements are you using? And all of those different things that have to do with protein powder and pre-workout, anything that goes with that. And so I'm kind of in the situation now where I'm figuring out exactly what I like, mostly just to help other people figure out what they like. I personally have the idea that you don't need supplements when you're first beginning to lift, just because you should get all of the weightlifting down, the form down, and be comfortable going to the gym first, and then start to use supplements when you're more comfortable. And so that's kind of what I push on my platforms is get the lifting down, get your form down, and then use supplements to help you grow and to help you improve past that plateau. But right now, I am using Gold Standard Whey for protein powder. I've been using that for the last 2 years. It's a pretty consistent protein powder, and I use Woke AF for pre-workout. And I've been liking it so far. I do really like it. I actually don't use pre-workout every single day. I only use it when I really need it. So those are kind of the two supplements that I've been using, but I'm really in the situation where I'm willing to grow and try new things just for the sake of being informative to my audience.
Okay, that was an incredible answer. I know that really was incredible. And you're open to trying different brands and just seeing how you feel, seeing how it works for you specifically, and you're just getting more knowledge so that if anybody asks you, hey, what do you use? Boom, you're being 100% real and authentic right then and there. So that's
exactly
cool. Awesome. And then let me see. I know you recently just got injured and was informed of how long your recovery process is going to be. So what is that looking like for you right now?
Yeah. So unfortunately, I did fracture my femur, and I have screws in my spine from my car accident, but I have screws also in my femur. So I did have to go through surgery, and that was it completely blindsided me. Had no idea that this was going to happen. And I woke up in the hospital thinking, this is a nightmare. What am I going to do? And it was very similar to 2 years ago with my car accident. So I was kind of having those emotions like, I've been through this before. Why does this have to happen again? And I'm the type of person that doesn't like to focus on negativity, and I try to be as positive as possible, but I'm also going to be genuine to people and tell people, yeah, it's difficult and I'm not going to be positive every single day. But if I can take this situation and continue to help other people and to continue to support other people and show people you can still do this even when your life isn't going the best way possible, then I will do that. And that determination is what keeps me going. And it's what's going to keep me going for the next 10 to 12 weeks. So like we kind of talked about before, I have about 6 weeks for sure on crutches until they check how I'm doing on x-rays. And then after that, it's going to be another 4 to 6 weeks relearning how to walk on my leg, which it's crazy because before I was hiking and I was lifting heavy and I was doing deadlifts and squats and really improving my body. And now I can barely get up the stairs. And it's that perspective on life that really kind of jarred me, but has also changed how I think. Because at one moment you can be at your best part of your fitness journey, and the next you're back down to learning how to walk again. And it is a completely new experience, but it's something that a lot of people go through because a lot of people do go through injuries. Mm-hmm. So if I can help anyone throughout this process while I'm going through it on my own, that would be amazing for me. And that would definitely be a goal for me and help me actually get through it. And people have been extremely supportive so far.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that with me and the listeners. And Another quick question your way is your book, Worthy of Rain. What is it about, and how did you get the courage to write a book at such a young age?
Yeah. I love that question because writing is another one of my passions that I don't get to talk about that much. I've been focused on fitness so much over the last couple of months, but writing will always be my first passion. You know, my parents were saying that I picked up a pencil before I could even talk. So I've always been interested in books, have loved reading, have loved writing. And Worthy of Rain is actually my second book. I wrote my first book, Heart Over the Horizon, in the fifth grade. It was a little chapter book that I wrote. But that really was what started me to get interested into writing even more. And I knew immediately afterwards I have to write another book. And this one, Worthy of Rain, I published in 2020 in September. And that book took me 7 years to write. And it was mostly because I was in school and in different sports, and I didn't want it to become something that was a chore to do, really. So it took me a really long time, but I finally published it. And Worthy of Rain caters more to my religious side. I am a Christian, and I do talk about that on all of my platforms because that is also a big part of my life. And so Worthy of Rain is a Christian book, but it's not meant for just Christian readers. It is meant for anybody. And it really, the backstory about it is it's about a girl that learns about Christianity through the Bible stories in the Bible. So it's kind of like she time travels back into different Bible stories and learns about Christianity through that. So it's a mix between her reality in her hometown as she navigates life in school and life with her single dad and learning about this new religion. So it's an interesting aspect to religion and to normal life. And I was extremely passionate about it, and I still am, and I'm so happy to have the opportunity to be able to publish it and get that out to different readers.
So where is that out currently? Is that on ebook, Nooks? Is that 100% just an ebook currently, and then you're planning on doing a hard copy publish in the near future?
Yeah, so you can find that pretty much anywhere online. I published with HarperCollins Christian Publishing, Elm Hill, but HarperCollins distributes it. So you can find it on Faith Gateway. You can find it on Target, Barnes and Nobles. It's on Amazon, and that is free to order. You can get the paperback copy. It's not going to be in hardback, but you can also buy the ebook. So if you search up Worthy of Rain, you will find it. Easiest that most people buy it is Amazon.com. And you can also personally reach out to me on my Instagram, and I will send you one that is signed. So I do that for my readers.
Okay, sweet. And then let me look and see. Boom. And basically, so yeah, I'm not gonna lie, when Max introduced you to me at Vaza, and he was like, hey, this is Lizel. First off, TikToker, she's killing it. And you drove 3 hours to go to work out with this whole entire group of people that you had never met before. I was like, yo, this girl is insane, but obviously willing to do what she needs to do for content and just putting herself out there. And he was like, yeah, she also wrote a book. I was like, so yeah, no lie, you're kind of inspiring me to write a book as well. So hands down, thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. No, that's exactly how you said it. It was completely spontaneous. My school starts so late, so I'm pretty much home until September. And I met Max through TikTok as well. And we were like, drive over 3 hours, come lift with us. It's going to be amazing. And I did it. And I had no idea who anyone was, but it ended up being one of the best days I've ever had. Like literally hands down, it was amazing. I met so many cool people, really supportive people. Vasa Fitness has such a community, but it's the people that built that. And all of you guys were extremely supportive and so welcoming. And it really changed my perspective on the gym and almost like gym families. And I kind of want to recreate that wherever I'm at. And I 100% will be back. It was so much fun to meet you, and I'm also inspired by everything you're doing with your podcast. This is amazing, and I'm so honored to be on here as well. And to be able to take that situation and come out with this, it's really cool.
Well, thank you. And then another quick question your way is, what is your favorite form of content to create?
Oh, that is such a good question. My biggest platform right now is TikTok. I've a little over 35,000 followers, but I actually like to be on Instagram more. So even though my biggest platform is TikTok, I love creating content for Instagram. It is definitely my number one thing. I think that I can write more on it because it does cater more to my passion for writing, and I'm able to write longer captions and really get into depth on everything that's happening with my life. So that is why I like Instagram the most, is being able to post a picture and write a caption about my life that talks about something that someone's going through. I just had a recent post that I was talking about insecurities that I had in high school, and I had several responses from some of the girls that were saying that they felt the same thing. And that is really like my end goal, is being able to target people and all of the same insecurities that they have that I had as well, and to be able to just have a conversation with people. So that is definitely what I enjoy.
Okay, sweet. And then, so I know a lot of fitness influencers jump into YouTube or podcasting. Have you ever thought about starting a YouTube channel or starting your own podcast in the future?
Good question. It's interesting that you say that,
Yeah.
because several people have told me that I should start a YouTube channel, and I had never considered it. But after a while, and after a few more people start to give me that idea, I might end up starting YouTube. I do like the idea of a podcast. I would love to do a podcast with someone else, just because I think that back and forth conversation would be amazing. So podcast could be down the road, more so maybe YouTube, just so I can actually sit down and have a long video chat with people. That could definitely be in the future. Who knows? Who knows what I'm up to?
Okay, awesome, sweet. Well, if you need any help podcasting, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to give you some advice and insight and all that fun stuff.
I definitely will.
Boom. So, Lizel, I just wanted to say thank you so much for hopping on Content Inspire, for sharing your story, who you are. And is there anything you'd like to say to the listeners before we hop off?
Yeah, thank you so much. Like I said, I'm honored to be here and to be able to talk to you again, even so far away. And one thing that I want to say, just because of the situation that I'm in, you can't wait for life to be perfect to be able to continue to live life and enjoy life. And I used to think that everything in my life had to be completely set, completely perfect, great situation, great relationship, great everything else. But sometimes life throws awful things at you, and you have to keep going, and you have to keep finding ways to continue to enjoy life, even if you can't do the same things that you did before. So that's what I want to leave people with today.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I'm going to link everything of yours down below in the bio, so that if any listeners want to find your IG and other platforms, they'll certainly will be able to. And listeners, till next time.